Hey, movie lovers, this is Leo.
Mike.
And Kevin from Films and Fermentation.
If you love comedy, movies, and a good drink in hand, then you need to check out the Pod Nation Media Network.
It's home to a variety of amazing podcasts covering everything from pulp culture to history and, of course, movies like ours.
And the best part, Pod Nation Media Network is featured on Roku, so you can stream your favorite podcasts anytime.
Alongside Films and Fermentation, you'll find other fantastic shows like the KJ&A podcast, The Undiscovered Entrepreneur, Real Sharks, and so many more.
So grab a drink, press play, and join the fun with Pod Nation Media Network.
Because everything's better with a little comedy, movies, and booze.
Learn more by going to linktree.com/podnationpods.
Films and fermentation, movies and inebriation. Films and fermentation, comedy mixed with tasty libation. Films and fermentation, with Leo, Catman, and Mike.
Here's one for the live show. I noticed something sticky on my wall over here, and I can't tell if it's leftover adhesive or a dried booger.
I'm voting booger.
Well, hey, everybody.
Sneeze that went wrong.
It was a sneeze. I have a lot of sneezes that go wrong. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 188. Tonight is our April Fool's special because this episode will be dropping on April 1st. We're calling this one Real or Fake, and you'll find out in a moment. That's right. We are Films and Fermentation, a movie and alcohol podcast, #1 pop culture podcast, and #1 beer podcast on Good Pods. I'm Leo.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mike.
We're three friends who like to talk shit about movies while getting shit-faced. On this episode, we celebrate our April Fool's Day extravaganza where truth and fiction blur like a CGI mustache on Henry Cavill. Tonight, we're playing the ultimate movie lover's guessing game, Real or Fake. We'll read some wild film descriptions, and you, our live audience, get to decide if Hollywood actually made it or if we just drank too much before writing it. Some of these are real movies, some of them are fever dreams, and all of them will make you question your own reality. So grab a drink, trust nothing, and let's see who can spot the real cinematic crimes against humanity. Don't forget, you can drop us an email at filmsfermentation@gmail.com or visit linktree.com/filmsfermentation. Find all of our social media and podcast links. You can now watch us on the Pod Nation Media Network on Roku. We are an independent podcast, which means we are listener supported. So please consider joining our Patreon for as little as $1 a month to receive members-only content. That's right. For $1 donation, Mike will be your Huckleberry.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Go to patreon.com/films of fermentation or purchase our merchandise at teespring.com. You could also text us at 904-867-4466. What are we drinking tonight? Gentlemen, I went first last time around. So
I don't care.
Yeah, why don't you go first tonight, Kev?
I am saying goodbye to my Irish colleagues here, Mr. Smithwick's Red Ale and Mr. Harp. They have gotten me through the month of March, and they did their job well. I still have 2 Guinness
to say goodbye to yesterday.
I have 2 Guinness I'm holding on to, one for a really rough day and one for a stew, I think. You know, because Guinness is always good in stew.
Oh, just so you know, when we go out for Katie's thing next Friday, April 4th, we are going to the Goat in New Jersey, the Goat Bar and Grill. She and I went there recently to try it out and see if we liked it. And I got 4 words for you, gentlemen. Guinness French onion soup. It's
you like it?
Like Peter Boyle and Joe
Frankenstein. You made a yummy sound.
I definitely made a yummy sound in that. I wasn't faking that yummy sound. It is yummy. So we'll be trying that out. Mike, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking some Bird Gang bourbon with some ginger ale tonight, boys, in my Super Bowl glass.
I am drinking an April Fool's cocktail. An April Fool's cocktail is where I tell you that I'm drinking a Jack and Coke, but I'm really drinking a Bombay and Sprite.
Well, he tells you
cocktail.
actually, he says it's Bombay and Sprite, but it's actually just water.
No, trust me, it's Bombay and Sprite. I've already had a couple of them, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. So I have a feeling this show ain't going to go too well. Okay. Let's move on.
This week in film history with Mike. This week in film history with Mike.
"1952, Singing in the Rain," the musical comedy directed by Gene Kelly and Stanley Doan, and starring Gene Kelly and Debbie Reynolds, premieres at New York City Radio Music Hall.
So, not going to make fun of this movie. I can't make fun of this movie. It's one of the greatest musicals of all time.
Agreed.
In the Rain.
Unless you're a fan of Clockwork Orange, and then Singing in the Rain gets ruined for you.
It's my understanding that they initially wanted Danny Kaye to be the sidekick or the counterpart to Gene Kelly. Since he wasn't available, they went with Donald O'Connor, who I think filled perfectly.
Yeah, I think Danny Kaye was good for certain roles. Like I love him in White Christmas, but I can't knock this film. I think it was cast perfectly. So, next one you got there, sir.
1958, 30th Academy Awards. The Bridge on the River Kwai wins Best Picture. Joanne Woodward and Alec Guinness win Best Actress and Actor, respectively.
And I think I have mentioned this on the show before. This movie gave us one other thing. All right.
You know what makes for good radio? Three men whistling into the microphone.
Yeah, 3 minutes. I just thought of that. I'm like, we're blowing people's ears out right now. It's hurting me in my earphones. Next one you got there, sir.
1999, The Matrix, film written and directed by the
Wachowskis.
Wachowskis.
Yes. Sorry.
Keanu.
You guys got me all tongue-tied now. Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, and Carrie-Ann Moss premieres.
Good old Keanu. And a role that he was born for. One where he didn't have to talk that much.
Whoa.
Whoa. Bill.
I know Kung Fu.
I know Kung Fu.
There's no spoon. The best line in the film for me, though, is when the first time they bring him back into the Matrix after he's woken up and they're driving down the street and they pass this Chinese food place and he goes, I used to eat there. Good noodles.
I can't knock it. I like this movie. It's the
I love the Matrix.
Four. Yeah, well, 5, I guess, if you count the Animatrix. But
the Animatrix was excellent.
Yeah.
The Animatrix
but I
was
still
pretty
think
good.
this was better than that. But
this was,
like
I
the
mean,
Animatrix. Yeah,
it's a pure example of when the original is the best.
Yes.
Yep.
Let's go on before Mike falls asleep on us. Go ahead, Mike. Read the next one.
It's been a rough week, guys.
I hear you.
2005, Doctor Who returns to BBC TV after 16 years with the debut of Christopher Eccleston. Son of a bitch, Eccleston. I know how to say it. As the Ninth Doctor and Billy Piper as Rose.
Christopher Eccleston. I wish we could have got more than one season with him because I really did like him as the Doctor.
And who's your favorite?
Billy Piper.
Billy Piper.
Rose is the best.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's Rose is number one.
Mm-hmm.
I like Donna Noble a lot. Who's the
No.
second one to 10? Martha Jones.
Nah.
She's underrated. I don't think she gets enough. Yeah.
I like the couple.
Rory and Karen Gillan. I can't remember her character's name.
The song
Amy Pond.
Ponds. Yeah, the Ponds.
Amy Pond. Yeah,
Like the Ponds.
Ponds are fun. I liked River Song was great.
I would put them as 2. The Ponds.
Yeah, the Ponds are good. You know what I got? You have to put in there. People forget about it, man. You got to have Captain Jack Harkness in there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Love Captain Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, Kev, in the producer's musical movie, the guy that sings "Springtime for Hitler" is Captain Jack Harkness?
Really?
Yeah,
No,
the guy with the blonde hair. That is the actor, John Barrowman.
I didn't pick that up.
I'm full of it.
Well, you're full of something, that's for sure.
As my wife would say. Go ahead, Mike. What's the next one?
In 2012, Canadian filmmaker James Cameron becomes the first person to visit Challenger Deep, the deepest point on Earth in over 50 years.
And he made a documentary following up on that too. It was called Aliens of the Deep.
Yep.
And it's amazing, man. It's a really good documentary. And he is he's a good filmmaker, but he's also a man with some of the biggest balls on the world, man, to go that deep into the ocean by himself.
Yes.
In this tiny submersible. I think it took something like 4 hours to reach the bottom. That's crazy.
That is crazy. And then you got to figure you have to decompress on the way up. So
yeah, it's. I give him. I'm so terrified of the ocean I couldn't do it, but the documentary was amazing.
It's better than going down in a tin can with a Xbox 360
with an Xbox remote.
You know?
See, I just got the PlayStation 5 yesterday, and what I can tell you is they may have survived if you had the PlayStation 5 remote. Mike, what's the next one you got there?
In 2018, The Black Panther becomes the highest grossing superhero movie in America, earning $630.9 million.
Yeah. I'm guessing Infinity War or Endgame probably beat that after they
Probably.
Probably. I don't have it in front of me here, but I'm assuming that. Next one you got there, Mike.
In 2022, actor Will Smith issues an apology on Instagram to Oscar Chris Rock for slapping him live on stage during the ceremony.
Because that says sincerity when you put it on Instagram.
Out of
your fucking mouth.
No.
That sounds like a whole bunch of sincerity there to release your apology on Instagram.
Well, they just dedicated a street to him in Philly.
So, yeah.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
Is it called Slap a Bitch Boulevard?
It's the street that's in front of Overbrook High School.
It's the Boulevard of Broken Men. And the last one you got there, sir.
In 2024, door from Titanic that saved Kate Winslet's character and killed Leo DiCaprio's, which there was enough room for that fucking door to save his ass.
Yeah.
Sells for $718,750 at Planet Hollywood's auction, beating Indiana Jones Bullwhip $525,000 and the Axe from The Shining at $217,000.
What do you do with that? What do you do? You get the door. Do you mount it on the door, like the door, and be like, "That's the door that could have saved Leo." You know,
I was thinking this. When I saw this earlier, when I saw that Mike put this on earlier, I looked up the information about the other two things because I was curious. Mm-hmm. I can see wanting to have Indiana Jones's bullwhip.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
because it's such an iconic, movie piece.
That or the hat, yeah.
The axe from The Shining worries me.
Yeah,
you would buy an axe that a man used to kill another man in a film for $217,000.
But you could mount both of these things with a little plaque that says, this was used in this movie, and it can be on the wall. And it's like, I don't need to use the bullwhip, but I can take it off the wall and show you. You can
also plant the axe in the back of somebody's head too. That's what you meant.
I think if Jason if I had purchased the door from Titanic, I would have put it up here in my room so I had like something to separate me from the rest of the house.
I would have made it into the dining room table. It's big enough.
It's big enough. You could fit a whole bunch of people there. James Cameron. Mike, you have any must-try beer craft destinations for us?
I do. I have a must-try beer. Braggott's Brown from Diebold Brewing, Denver, Colorado. Any beer that medals at the Great American Beer Festival is worth your time and money. And this one scored a silver in 2014 competition. It's pale for a brown, meaning it pours a light reddish brown color, but the aromatics have all the pleasant complexities this style can offer. A bit of milk chocolate, a touch of roast coffee beans, topping, and a hint of caramel are at the forefront. On the palate, the coffee steps forward a bit with the sweeter elements fading and the roast grains bitterness mostly standing in for the hops. At 5.5 ABV, there isn't any heat, but it is quite dry and toasty for a brown. There you go, boys. Brown ale.
Normally at this point, we would follow it up with either my movie updates or Kevin's beer news, but neither one of us really have anything to contribute to that tonight. So we're going to skip those segments this evening, and we're going to play a quick promo for you from our friends KJ at the KJ&A podcast, and then we'll be going into our main segment. So we'll be right back after this short promo.
Hey, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Jay from the KJ&A podcast.
Join us each week where we discuss comics, movies, anime, video games, and current events.
Basically anything to make you laugh and have a good time with all the tangents.
You can find us on Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, Thread, Patreon, and all the things at KJ&A Podcast.
You're going to need to take it down a notch, about 20% there, Kevin.
And if you get that reference, you can be our friend.
That reference was from the Canadian comedy show Letterkenny, by the way.
Now I know why you want to do cult films next week.
Hey, no, I just thought it was something to be fun to talk about. I don't know.
Big Trouble in Little China on their promo.
Love me some Big China, Little China. Anyway, either you guys need a break. You guys good?
I'm good.
I'm all
right. So we're moving on to our main segment tonight. Tonight we're playing a little game for April Fool's Day. It's called Real or Fake. For this game, I came up with 20 movies. Some are real, some are fake. I actually wrote the short plot points for the fake ones myself. And these gentlemen are going to attempt to guess which one is real and which one is fake. And then I will reveal the truth to you. And I have little banners to go with this and some movie posters and such. So let's go right to our first one. I'm going to bring a banner up here so you guys can see what the plot is. Movie number one. A group of martial arts rock musicians battle a cocaine smuggling ninja gang in Florida. Real or fake?
It's real.
Feel free to share your logic. Why do you think it's real?
Because
it happens in Florida. That sounds like a Florida thing. You know?
that is somebody doing a B movie that's almost C movie quality.
A B movie that's almost C movie quality.
This is probably directed or produced by Tiger King. What's his name?
Might be a little bit before him, but yeah, it's a real movie. This movie is actually called, let me bring the poster up here for you.
Also,
The Miami Connection.
Also, martial arts movies, no matter what they were big in the 80s.
You can tell by the quality of that movie poster, it's a hell of a film.
That looks like the box to an Atari game. You know?
It does. It's like such terrible artwork. Miami Connection. Yes, it is a real movie. Was actually covered on the How Did This Get Made podcast not too long ago.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
All right, here we go. Let me bring up the next one for you. This one's fun. Number 2, the second movie. After her boyfriend dies, a scientist implants his brain into a robotic T-Rex, leading to a rampage of revenge and love.
Ooh, it sounds like a mix of RoboCop 2 and it was RoboCop 2, yeah, and Jurassic Park.
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to
say
say it's
no.
made up.
I'm gonna say yeah.
So, wait, you said it's fake, Mike?
Yes.
And Kev, you
Same
said it's
here.
fake too?
Yep.
All right, so we got two fakes on this one about the boy's brain and a robot T-Rex. Sorry to tell you guys, this is a real movie.
Oh, wow.
It's called, here we go, Tammy and the T-Rex.
Oh Jesus.
Fun fact, it is the movie debut of both Paul
Denise
Walker
Richards.
and Denise Richards.
Yeah.
That's Denise Richards right there. That's Paul
He
Walker
met
up
the
here.
artwork as well, but that is definitely Denise Richards.
That's
It
Denise
is?
Richards. So, yeah, so like I said, fun fact, it is the film debut of Paul Walker and Denise Richards. It
Wow.
also includes a final scene in which Denise Richards does a striptease in front of the camera, which sounds good until you realize she was only 15 when she made that movie.
Ooh.
Ooh,
So we
ooh.
might want to rethink that one.
You think?
All right, that was the second one. So we have one fake. I'm sorry, we have two reels so far: Miami Connection and Tammy and the T-Rex. Let's get to the third one here. A loving grandmother passes away, but her spirit lingers to help her grandson win a high-stakes breakdancing competition.
Breaking 3, the Ghost Boogaloo. I'm going fake. Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't a breakdancing competition, maybe, but nah, I gotta go fake.
Yeah. I don't think
See-
Granny's helping out with any breakdance. If it was tap or if it was the Irish jig, maybe.
Wall, yeah, ballroom, something, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it says that her spirit lingers to help her grandson win the breakdancing competition, not her.
No, but she's helping him with breakdancing. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Yeah, you're right. It's fake. I made that
Sounds
one
like
up.
a
I was
movie,
hoping the fact that it was a breakdancing competition. I should have said it was made in 1986. Maybe that would have threw you off a little bit. If it sounded like an 80s movie, it would have been closer to sounding like it was a real.
Granny, look at the cardboard.
That's why I said it was Breaking 3, the Spirit Boogaloo.
Spirit Boogaloo. All right, here we go. Number 4. A young boy. Oh, I'm gonna bring my thing up here. A young boy's Christmas wish accidentally brings a bloodthirsty Santa hat wearing shark to life.
Fake. Sharks can't wear hats.
You know what? I'm gonna go with real.
I was going to say, if you both got this one wrong, then I would have had to force you guys to watch it for Shark Week. But it is a real film.
Oh, wow.
It is called, wait, you see this shit. It is called Santa Jaws.
That doesn't make any sense. He's wearing it on his dorsal fin.
This
Well,
is a fun fact. This is a Sci-Fi Channel original film, which should explain everything.
Oh, wow. Sharknado-ish.
Sharknado-ish. Yeah, there's a lot of those because there's what Sharktopus and the one Mike and I watched a bunch of them one year.
Because we were doing something like that. Oh my god!
It was like shark movies for Shark Week or something. All right, here we go. Number 5 on my list of films. An 80s sci-fi horror film about a team of astronauts landing on a distant planet, only to be slowly devoured from the inside by giant parasitic space slugs.
It seems real.
That does. That seems too.
Seems
real.
very real, except that it's
Yeah. Oh, dear.
I
Yeah.
made that one up.
So,
I kind of ripped off like Starship Troopers a little bit for that one.
Mm.
All right, here we go. Number 6. This is a beauty. Real or fake, this is a beauty of a plot twist. A killer llama from space crash lands on Earth and begins a bloody rampage.
Real.
Fake.
Would you be surprised to know that not only this is real, but it was only made 10 years ago? It's a 2015 film.
Jesus
Well, that's
Christ.
when llamas got big again, you know? I mean, not literally, but figuratively. That's when their popularity, the llama farms.
I don't want to be a llama.
The movie is called Llamageddon.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's an actual picture of the llama in the film. Llamageddon.
Wow.
I told you, man. I picked out some fun ones for this fucking thing. All right, here we go. Next one, number 7 on my list here. In this forgotten 90s animated film, Popeye must battle the Kraken to save olive oil.
True. That's a real one.
That's true.
That's fake.
Really?
That is a fake film. Yes, I made that one up.
That would be worth watching.
I would have watched it. I went back to my bad memories as a child seeing Popeye in the movie theaters at 3 years old.
Oh, speaking of Popeye.
Yeah. I saw the trailer for Popeye the Slayer Man.
Popeye the Slayer Man. They are like destroying our childhood here.
You got to look up the trailer then for Bambi's Revenge. All right, let's see here. Next one, number 8 on the list. This is a long one. A retired American soldier haunted by his past assassination of Adolf Hitler is recruited by the government to track and kill Bigfoot, who carries a deadly plague.
True.
True.
You just keep saying true until we actually get to a true one, right?
Mm.
So this one is, yes, a real film.
I
The
actually
movie is. I'll give you a fun fact on this one too. I saw it.
I'm sure.
I only watched it because it stars Sam Elliott. The movie is called The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot. Another fun fact about the film, it takes itself very seriously.
Oh, Jesus.
It is not a spoof. He's a man haunted by the fact that he kills Hitler, but's not allowed to tell anybody about it. It was like a secret mission. You know, they made it seem like Hitler committed suicide or whatever, but he actually assassinated him.
Why
And
would
then
you
he-
by that?
And then the government, well, because it was like, I don't remember exactly
Hitler's
why.
spirit
but it's like,
trapped in his mustache.
yeah,
That's
I don't
crazy.
remember why, but he's like, something about it like upsets him. I think it's because he ends up killing his wife too, or something like it, killing like Hitler's wife, Eva Braun. And then when he kills the Bigfoot, though, it's like a very sentimental scene because he's like the last of his kind.
Because that's going to make you feel all much better.
It's also funny because the entire plot of the film is in the title.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Number 9 on the list. A military experiment accidentally revives a wisecracking zombie named Bud, who then goes on a ridiculous undead adventure.
True. And if not, we should produce this movie.
Fake.
So not only is this a real movie, it's actually a sequel. The movie is called Chud 2, Bud the Chud.
I know the Chud movies.
Sequel to Chud, which stands for Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers.
Yes.
All right. So, I got to probably throw a fake one in here at some point. They've had a couple real ones in a row here, but let's go to number 10 and see what you guys think. So, number 10, a demonic bed consumes anyone who sleeps on it, digesting them in a pool of acid beneath its sheets. A lot of silence on this one.
Thinking.
Um.
I'm going to say true.
Yeah, that's good. True.
This one is true. It's called Deathbed, the bed that eats.
The bed that eats.
Fun fact, This movie came out in 1977, the year I was born. When I saw that, I was like, no way that movie came out in 77. That doesn't sound like a 70s. You had some of the greatest cinema in history in the 70s, and then this fucking movie got made.
Yes,
All right. Number 11. Oh, God. Number 11. Here we go. Jesus Christ returns to Earth and teams up with Mexican wrestlers to battle a gang of vampires preying on lesbians.
I'm going fake.
Big.
That's just too much.
Two fakes. We got two fakes there for Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It is a real movie. This movie came out in 2001. It's a very low budget Canadian film.
Well,
Anyway, I said, well, I have to see this because that sounds like my kind of bad movie. It's on Tubi. It's on Tubi right now. I started watching it. It's an hour and 24-minute long movie. I watched it on 2 times the speed. I only watched the first half hour, which on 2 times the speed only took 15 minutes. Because after that 15 minutes, I was like, I really should be doing something better with my time.
oh man!
Not only was the plot that I gave you very accurate, but what I did not know till I started watching it, it's also a musical.
No.
Did they get Willem Dafoe to come back as a?
No. Oh, dude, I can't even explain how batshit crazy this movie is. That description did not do it justice. Still a better musical than Amelia Perez. All right, here we go. Next one, number 12. Where's it at? Here it is. A quiet European town is plagued by cursed mimes who transform into deadly invisible wall-trapping werewolves during a full moon.
That's
Fake. That's fake.
I had to throw a fake one in there at some point. We've had too many real ones in a row.
Yeah, quiet European town and mimes. No.
I like the idea that they turn into werewolves who trap people in invisible walls.
Oh,
All right. This next one's for Mike. In the distant future, a rogue scientist creates an army of William Shatner clones to overthrow the Canadian government, leading to an epic battle between good and evil Shatners.
That's gotta be fake.
Big.
That's gotta be fake. Even Bill wouldn't do a movie like that.
I was gonna say, but don't you wish it was real? I don't know. I've seen William Shatner make cameos in some shit films. I could imagine him doing
Yeah,
that
but
one.
he would have to do a lot of shit cameos in that one because he's every clone.
Can you imagine a battle between Shatners? I'm going to kill you, not
Actually,
before I kill you.
I've seen it. It's episode Enemy Mine original series.
I was watching Pop Culture Jeopardy the other night, and one of the contestants is a world record holder. He can name all 79 episodes of the original Star Trek in a row chronologically, and he did it in 1 minute and 38 seconds.
Chronologically.
All right, next one here. Film number 14. A possessed recliner goes on a murderous rampage, killing anyone who sits on it.
True. That's an actual one.
No, it's fake.
I mean, would I have a killer recliner movie on the same list as The Bed That Eats?
You would.
I would, because it's a real film. It is called Killer Sofa. Don't sit on the furniture. That one came out in 2019.
Don't call him a lazy boy.
That's the movie that led to COVID.
That's the movie that got people out of COVID.
It came out in 2019.
That's a movie that closed down Blockbuster.
All right, here we go. Next one. Number 15. A Bigfoot, tired of living in the woods, reinvents himself as a detective in LA, solving crimes while evading cryptid hunters.
No way. No way. No way. Kev?
It's my people too. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's true. It's real.
You think it's true? It is not. It is a fake film I made up. But God damn it, I think the three of us need to write the screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
I already know we're going to call it Detective Squatch. So we got a project ahead of us. Let's write our own screenplay about crime-solving private detective Sasquatch.
I don't want him to do the sunglass thing like what's his name did on CSI Miami.
Who are you? Trying to, how does he disguise himself? Does he like shave?
You know what? We can bring Angry Brooks back as Hulk.
Yeah. Talk with that Jamaican accent.
Squash.
All right, here we go. Film number 16. When a cursed lawnmower possessed by an ancient druid spirit escapes from a suburban garage, it goes on a deadly rampage, slicing its way through unsuspecting homeowners.
It's got to be real.
Yeah.
And Leo watched.
Isn't this the one that M. Night Shyamalan did?
Well, there's a scene in The Happening where somebody lays down in front of a lawnmower. Yeah. What do you think, Kev? Real or fake?
Fake.
Yeah, it is fake.
Okay.
This is a fake one. I stole this plot from an early Peter Jackson film where a lawnmower is used to kill some zombies.
I thought you borrowed it from the Lawnmower Man.
Lawnmower Man surprisingly doesn't have a lot of lawn mowing in it.
No, it does not.
It's mostly like a cybernetic version of Flowers for Algernon. All right, here we go. Next one. 17. After losing his parents, a priest gains the ability to turn into a dinosaur and fights crime with the help of a prostitute.
Velocipaster! I know this one.
Yes, not only did Kevin get it right, he also guessed the movie Velocipaster, Man of the Claw.
Jesus Christ. Who comes up with this shit?
Clever priest.
That one came out in 2018.
And does people give you money to make this shit?
I mean, some of it's like,
Somebody had it.
some of it's like self-funded or like, it's
It's
not all
it's
like big studios.
Tommy Wasuda. Or
Tommy Wiseau, yeah. I didn't hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
All right, here we
These are
go.
tearing me apart.
Where am I at here? Number 18. A homeless drifter stumbles upon a military-grade flamethrower and uses it to burn down crime and corruption in the city.
True.
Fake.
What?
Although
That
there
would be-
is a real movie starring Rutger Hauer called Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh, I know that one, yeah.
I just changed the shotgun to a flamethrower. Number 19. We only got two more to go here. Here's number 19. After a drug bust gone wrong, a wild alligator ingests a massive amount of meth and goes on a rampage.
This
Why not?
is your this isn't it. This is your version of Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, that's fake.
I give you Meth Gator,
Now it's your first time.
spiritual sequel to Cocaine Bear. Don't
Oh,
flush
God.
your meth.
Loosely tied into the Breaking Bad world.
All right, we got one more. Here's the last one. A wisecracking homicidal turkey goes on a killing spree during Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
You guys got that one? Thanksgiving? You know Thanksgiving?
I know Thanksgiving, yeah.
You know Thanksgiving. I'm surprised you guys know Thanksgiving. Did you know the tagline for Thanksgiving? I hid it so it wouldn't be ruined for you. Here it is.
Gobble, gobble you up.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
Megan and I were looking for Thanksgiving movies to watch, and our choices were limited. This came up as an option.
Your choices were planes, trains, and automobiles or Thanksgiving.
Home for the Holidays, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and Thanksgiving.
And
There is
Charlie
a really
a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
There is a really good Thanksgiving horror film that came out last year called Thanksgiving. It's directed by Eli Roth, who did the Hostel films and all that.
That looked freaky as hell.
Pretty good. But that was my game. 20 movies, real or fake. You guys did pretty well with that. I was pleasantly surprised by the few that you guys guessed at the end. So that is that. Mike, you have any beer trivia history for us this evening?
I got a beer history for you.
All right.
In 55 BCE, Roman legions introduced beer to Northern Europe, even though they considered wine to be a much more civilized drink.
More civilized age. We have a cinema quote of the week.
Yes, we do. It is movies are a fad. Oh, no, I should say this. And movies are a fad. Audiences really want to see live actors on stage.
Mike
That's
and I were
from
talking
Charlie
about this Mike and I were talking in the pre-show, and I said I thought that was kind of weird coming from Charlie Chaplin, one of the most famous actors of all time.
If I really wanted to say it like Charlie Chaplin, I would, just giving you dead air for about a minute.
I said that too. I said it's ironic we got a quote from a silent man. So, how were our drinks this evening, gentlemen?
Mine was very good.
Mine are very good.
I'm on my third April Fool's cocktail of the evening, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Nicely done.
In case you missed it, the April Fool's cocktail is where I tell you it's tequila and lime, but it's really Bombay and Sprite.
Trickster, you.
I'm a trickster yet. All right. Thank you for joining us tonight for episode 188, Real or Fake, our April Fool's extravaganza. We hope you enjoyed listening to the podcast as much as we enjoyed recording it for you. Don't forget, you drop us an email at filmsoffermentation@gmail.com or visit linktree.com/filmsoffermentation. Find all of our social media podcast links. We are on the Pod Nation Media Network on Roku. We're on Patreon. We have merchandise at Teespring. Or you can text us at 904-867-4466. Don't forget to stop by the Crossroads from Pickled and Fermented next time around for episode 189. We're going to be looking at some cult classics of the 1980s. We decided to make this a sort of reoccurring segment on the show, so we're going to start with the 80s and move to some other decades later on. But each of us is going to pick out our favorite cult films from the 1980s, and we'll be discussing them next week, so make sure you join us for that. And again, this episode will be dropping on April Fool's, so happy April Fool's Day, everybody. In the meantime, this has been the Films of Fermentation podcast. I'm Leo.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mike.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
That feels like a